Good evening and welcome to the John Gaunt podcast. Tonight, Starmer, when are you going to get the message? We want none in and all out when it comes to illegal immigrants. Rip up the ECHR and get a bloody grip. His deportation flights have failed. But we're not just talking about that tonight. Donald Trump is on his way across the Atlantic. Is he going to basically sort out Starmer? Is Starmer going to listen to him? What a state this country is in under Starmer. That's what we're discussing. I do want your opinions. Why don't you get them in now? Just put the little sign, just tap on the comment box and I'll read them in. So, Starmer, we want none in, but all out. Deportation failure. Get a grip or get out of office. He's failed again, our Prime Minister. His one in, one out deal has collapsed, as predicted, after just 2 days. No flights have taken off. No illegals have been deported to France. Meanwhile, they still keep coming in at Dover. Everybody with half a brain told him it wouldn't work. The only way you're going to stop it is by ripping up the ECHR, army on the beach, navy in the channel, and get tough like Trump. Now, with Trump coming tonight, maybe you could get some tips off him, but you're so bloody arrogant, you won't even ask, will you? Meanwhile, Starmer is again accusing all the protesters from Saturday, from Tommy's March, of being far right. And now the London mayor, Pipsqueak Sadiq Khan, has joined in too. Basically, Khan's been saying it reminds him of when he was a kid, and it's like the BNP and the NF on the march again. What an utter load of tripe. There was hardly any violence at that demo. Yes, there was some, and I condemn it. But this idea that we're going back to the BNP, the NF, is just nonsense. But they're getting away with it. Why? Why isn't anyone stopping them? Why isn't anyone saying, you're talking absolute rubbish? This is what Sadiq Khan said. He's put it all over social media, but he's such a coward, just like Starmer. He doesn't allow you to reply. He turns the replies off. Now, that can't be right. He's a democratically elected official. If he's going to make a statement on Mayor of London notepaper, surely he's got to answer when people disagree with him. This is what he says anyway. It takes me back to how I felt growing up in the 70s and 80s when far-right political parties marched on our streets. The leaders of the far right are once again attempting to, listen to this bit, hijack our flag, with minorities being intimidated and fear, hatred and division being sown. I saw no evidence of that in the protests at the weekend. Did you? As Londoners and as proud Brits, he continues, we must unite to reject the far right, just as we have many times. Do you think, did you go on that demo? Do you feel that you're far right? Do you feel he's being offensive? Do you think he's abusing his position? Just like Starmer telling us about our flag as well the other day. I think they're both being grossly offensive, but also cowards because they're not willing to take criticism. It gets worse with Starmer. Today, there was meant to be a 3-hour debate about why he decided to go with Mandelson as the Washington ambassador and what he did when he found out, allegedly, about him still being mates with Epstein. Do you know what happened today? You may have been at work, you may have missed this. It was a complete affront to democracy. He didn't go. Starmer didn't go. All the other, not all of them, but quite a few of the MPs are in the House of Commons, including David Davis, who asked for the emergency debate. arrogant pig Starmer didn't go, which is why on my banner today I've basically said deport yourself. How can you be the leader of our country when you're not even willing to justify your actions to your fellow MPs? All weekend you've been hiding under a stone. Oh, and this is the excuse. He's preparing himself for tonight's, well, it's not tonight's, but the state banquet, which is tomorrow night. He's meeting President Trump tomorrow. I can't believe him. He's just a pathological liar. And then all weekend, the only time he has issued any statements, it's to blame somebody else or to say we're all far right. But now, as I say, Sadiq Khan is joining in as well. I find this deeply offensive. He goes on, it's going to take, this is Khan, he's put this all over Twitter, all over Facebook, all over X. It's going to take a huge effort from us all, from people of all races and backgrounds who are willing to stand up for our British values of equality, inclusion and mutual respect. Thereby, what he's saying is the people who went on that protest, or people like me who disagree with him, we don't believe in equality, inclusion and mutual respect. That's what he's saying about you. Well, I believe in all of those things. Then he says, as mayor, I'll continue to do everything I can to challenge the far right. Again, he's saying everybody on that was far right. They're not, you utter bullshitter. And he says, and all those who peddle the politics of fear and division. No, I thought that march was all about unity, people coming together, people saying, let's protect our heritage, our tradition, our culture. It wasn't an attack on immigrants. You could say it was critical of illegal immigrants, just like the migrant hotel protests. And why not? Did you see today another illegal immigrant has been found guilty of rape of a British woman in London? You should be concentrating on that, Sadiq, rather than trying to be a mini-me Starmer. You make me sick. He goes, so to stand up to the far right and all those who peddle the politics of fear and division, i.e. me and you. And then he says, I urge other politicians and Londoners to do the same. He makes me puke. What about you? And then what do you think of your glorious Prime Minister? He didn't go today to the Commons to justify his actions. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because he's a fucking liar. He's lied about what went on. It's obvious. Did you see the Channel 4 interview last night? You can just tell he's lying. And what he's done by sending a junior minister, Doughty or whatever his name is, I doubt him, that's for sure, he sent him, and therefore there couldn't be real criticism. Good on Kemi Banadok. She said he's avoiding Parliament. He's avoiding scrutiny. He was. He crawls out from under his stone and he won't answer to our elected representatives, i.e. to you and I. But tonight and tomorrow, he'll be hobnobbing as the great statesman with Donald Trump and all the other people, not with our US ambassador, because we haven't got any more, because friend of the nonces, Mandelson, has been sacked at last, but he'll be there playing the big statesman. And here's the bit you've got to really, really understand. He didn't go today. Why? I'll tell you why. He's scared. He's a coward. 2 more days on Thursday, Parliament goes into recess again. Oh, yes, it's another holiday. Well, it's the political conference season, they describe it as. So Parliament, the Commons, doesn't meet again till about mid-October. Are you following me? So what he's hoping is that this whole row about Mandelson will have been forgotten about by then by us, the general public. He is evading and avoiding scrutiny. This is an affront to democracy. It proves again why he's not fit to be Prime Minister. He's not fit to be Prime Minister anyway for appointing Mandelson against the spooks, the Secret Services who said don't do it. And also we're meant to believe this cock and bull story that the Foreign Office got the advice on Wednesday morning and they didn't tell him. And then he went in and defended Mandelson. What is it with him and paedophiles? Not Mandelson, Starmer. Because don't forget, Starmer had to be dragged, kicking and fighting to actually agree to an inquiry into the rape gangs up north, well, all over the country. Oh, and on the same token, of course, Sadiq Khan says none of that happened in London. Well, that lie is now unravelling again. They're as bad as each other. Sadiq Khan has wrecked the greatest capital city in the world. Keir Starmer is trying to wreck, and succeeding to a certain extent, the greatest country in the world. Oh, I'll be arrested for that. How dare I be a nationalist? How dare I say I love my country? How dare I say I love my flag? And I'll tell you something, Sadiq Khan, I want to take my flag back from people like you and from Starmer. Nothing to do with your colour or your religion, but just the fact that you are abusing the flag. You're using it for political means. You're the one who is saying all those people who went on that march are racist and far right. It's absolute bullshit. And if nobody else in the mainstream media will call you out for it, I will, because I've got a pair. And you don't scare me, you little pipsqueak. And the same with the idiot Starmer. He should have been in the Commons answering for what he has done. But he isn't, because he's a spineless coward. He could solve the deportation problem overnight. Rip up the ECHR, army on the beach, navy in the channel, all of them out of the hotels immediately and the homes of multiple occupation, into old airfields and army camps, and then also give them the choice. If you want to go home, we'll fly you home. But any new arrivals, if they turn up, they get sent straight back. If they haven't got a passport or refuse to say where they came from, well, we know it's France. That was the last place. So we just either take them to France, or if the French won't play ball, we're going to process them on an island somewhere, either off Britain or off Europe. Are you with me or again? Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, good evening. My name's John Gaunt. This is the John Gaunt podcast. Thank you to everyone who's been subscribing. The numbers are going through the roof. But we're being played. You're being conned. You're being cheated by people like Sadiq Khan and Starmer. What they're doing, I think, verges on the corrupt. Starmer refuses to answer any questions. He refuses to go to the Commons. Admittedly, the MPs were annoyed about this, and so they should be, but he's playing for time. Do you want to comment on any of that? Because I think that's all pretty right on the money. Right on the money. He knows they're going into recess. I'd like to put him in recess, metaphorically speaking. But this man is a despicable coward. He's got no spine. And still they come. And it's not fair on the illegal migrants either. Because if you made a deterrent, less would come, less would die in the channel, and then everything can move forward. He is wrecking our country. He has got the Midas touch in reverse. Everything that Starmer touches turns to SH1T. Are you with me or against me? If you support me, press the like button. We've got 10 so far. Plus, could you also restream the stream? Send the links out to all your mates. Let's get Britain talking. Let's decide that we're not going to take any more of this. He is playing you. What is the point of Houses of Parliament, the House of Commons, if our leaders refuse to be scrutinised? What's he got wrong? What often when people won't answer questions, call me a cynic, but it normally means they're guilty. He's guilty of this. He wanted Mandelson. I don't know why, because there was a decent woman doing the job. I thought he was all for equality. He's been found out. Mandelson was a political appointment of Starmer's, nobody else's. And he can hide or try to hide, or he can run, but he can't hide. This man is not fit for public office, let alone being our Prime Minister. And as for Sadiq Khan, as I say, he's wrecked London. And can you believe that pipsqueak who last time Trump came, he put a blimp up. This time, Trump's coming and they can't do anything in London because Khan has basically stirred the pot there. People go, no, he's gone to Windsor, he's hiding. It's not Trump who's hiding. It's common sense, especially after the tragic death last week. It's an absolute disgrace that these two arseholes are actually being allowed to dictate what we do on the world stage and what happens on our domestic stage and what happens about our borders. It's time to put the British people first. And that's not racist, because I'm not saying white British. I'm saying everyone who's already here. But not Starmer, not Khan. We know where their priorities lie. There's no doubt, just like Birmingham Council, they'll be having Pakistani Day, India Day, and all the rest of it. They have the Irish Day, don't they? And good on them. But do they do anything for St. George's Day in London? Do they? Sweet F.A. I haven't had a go at Khan for a long time. But today or last night when I started seeing these messages on Twitter, I thought, who the hell does he think he is? But he's been emboldened by this other Labour misfit. And just what is Starmer's game? Is he just trying to gaslight us? Does he want us all to leave the country? Probably. He'd probably help us leave the country. But he's not helping the illegals leave, is he? In fact, it's almost as if he's putting in barriers so that can't happen. Are you with me or are you against me? You certainly can be against me. It's not a problem. Let's have your views. And how about the fact they've all told us, the pair of them have told us again, we're far right. We're almost, we are Nazis according to them. And then Trump. The rumour, or maybe it's just the spin doctors playing this, or maybe it's Trump playing his usual games. Evidently, Trump is going to go easy on him because he feels for him, because he's having a tough time at the moment. I think that's Trump playing games again. I hope that when he comes in, he gives him a right bollocking and a lecture about free speech, about sending people like Lucy Connolly to prison for one tweet which she took down, or basically arresting with 5 armed coppers Graham Linehan, the author, the man who invented Father Ted, who now has left Britain. He's gone to live in America because he can't bear the censorship and the offensive nature of the lefties. And these lefty woke idiots who are still saying, there's one on the internet today, there's an Asian girl running away from a couple of thugs. It says it's at that protest. Now listen, whether it's at the protest or not, I condemn that. Of course I do. But they're using that video, just like yesterday they were using the video of the guy with the Union Jack on his back buying Indian food, street food, as some kind of justification for us all being morons. Morons for believing in our flag, morons for believing in our culture, fascists for believing in our traditions, our way of life. Fascist for daring to be the most tolerant and charitable country in the world. When there's a disaster, who do they come to first? That's right, Britain. And who goes and does the work? British troops. That's who. I tell you, I am nearly at the end of my tether. And then Starmer uses the fact that Parliament is breaking up, or has broken up now, basically, and avoids being scrutinised. I hope that Trump also says to him, hey, why didn't you go to Parliament? And what a state. We've got the leader of the free world here meeting our king, and we haven't got an ambassador now. And you know why we haven't got one? Because of Starmer. Because of Starmer. Starmer appointed Mandelson. Forget everything else. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. All this thing about the sequence of events and the rest of it. He was already a friend of the nonce. Oh, yes, he was. And he'd been convicted at that stage. Mandelson was still living in his house now and again, or his flat in New York. You thought the Prince Andrew scandal was bad. This is absolutely much worse. Right, I've done 20 minutes there. That's enough. Right, let's have your comments now. Hundreds for me to read out. We'll start on those now. If you like what I'm doing and if you'd like to support me, it's cut-off day today for Buy Me a Coffee. Bruce, thank you to you. You've just bought me 3. That's 15 quid. That's really helpful. Thank you. Just go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt if you'd like to support me. Or you can just press the $sign if you're watching on the John Gaunt TV channel on YouTube and donate whatever you fancy. All of it helps because it means I can carry on producing these. And I tell you what, if you don't realise how important free speech is and independent broadcasting, whether it's me, Dan Wootton, George Galloway, whoever, you're mad because you can't trust the mainstream outlets. Don't believe me? Go and have a quick flick through the channels. See if anybody's saying what I'm saying. He's conning us. He is conning us. And I think that deserves your support. Well, I would say that, wouldn't I? Right, let's get started. Where are we going? These immigration lawyers are parasites feeding off the legal aid budget. Well, Peter 2704, partly I agree with you. However, who sorted out the Human Rights Act? Who was the director of public prosecutions? But Jimmy Savile never came across my desk. Starmer wrote the book on all this. So an individual lawyer trying to make money out of it, yeah, I don't like them either. I think they're leeches. However, you've got to create the situation for them to do that. Thank you, Mr. Starmer. Let's move on. Jackie Ward, hi, Jackie. On Facebook, this government are failing on every level. Starmer is floundering. He will sink soon. Well, not necessarily. He's playing a game. I want him to go. And you're right. We need it. He is floundering like a fish on the deck of a boat or on the side of the cut or the canal. Somebody needs to pick him up by the tail and smack him, metaphorically speaking, against a rock and put him and us out of our misery. But otherwise, he's just going to stay there. Can't you see what he's doing? He's buying time. Parliament is in recess. There'll be nothing done in Parliament tomorrow or Thursday. All the political press will go off on their... I've told you they're all in bed with them. They'll all be off to Blackpool or Brighton or some other place where they're having the party conferences. You won't see them for dust. And just while I'm on that subject, why do you need that many weeks off for Parliament to be in recess for the conferences? Nobody goes to the conference. Well, they went to the reform one, but that was just over 2 days, over a weekend. It no longer needs to be a week. When I was working on the Sun, we went, the first couple of years, we went to all the conferences. Fantastic time, all expenses paid, all on the pitch. Fantastic, right? And then somebody at News International went, why are we doing this? Even the BBC don't go now and give them full coverage. It's just a jolly. And also, let me tell you another little secret. When you go to these conferences, they don't discuss policy. No, they just get the faithful to rubber stamp what arseholes like Starmer has decided he's going to do. So why does democracy stop? Please, if you agree or disagree, let me know. And press that donate button. Come on, this is dynamite stuff. I take it Sad IQ Khan, says Lisa Carville on YouTube, doesn't mind upsetting Jewish people who have to put up with Palestinian marches every week in London. What a brilliant point to make, Lisa. Yeah. He finds our flag. He says we're offensive the way we're using our flag. What about the Palestinian stroke Hamas supporters who are waving their flags and sticking 2 fingers up to all of us and have been doing it for months and months and months? It's an absolute outrage. They live on a different planet, but they take our money. Susan Shanahan, Starmer is a traitor. And then she says, and she's on Facebook, she's tough, this woman, Khan is a traitor. Absolutely. That's how I feel about them. Ronnie Hurst, Starmer's to ask has neglected London totally. Ronnie, please check what you're. I don't even know what you're trying to say there. Sometimes I can guess, but I can't there. GR, John is just a lying traitor. Thank you. Lisa, another person knew what was in those emails. Peter Mandelson. So it shows what kind of person he is. Why did he not resign then, but wait to get sacked again? Well, I'll tell you why, Lisa. He doesn't think he's done anything wrong. He was telling the nonce, the paedophile, that he would help him rebuild his life. Have you read the letters? And there's more of that to come out, I'm sure. Mandelson thought his mate was the victim, not the girls, underage girls, some as young as 12. And I'm going to have to tell you what, man, I'll just glide around this a bit. One of the things he got found guilty of was to, how would I put it? Satisfying himself over the tummies of 12-year-old girls. Understand what I'm saying? The man, Epstein, is a pig. How could you be friends with somebody like him? Disgraceful. Mark Friston, because their ethnic cleansing of English has been found out as to why they're hiding. I don't think it's as worked out as that. It's just a general hatred. But thanks for your comments. Hi, John. I knew that Starmer's one in, one out deal with France wouldn't happen. Well, yes, obviously. It was ridiculous. It'll never work. No, nothing like that they come up with. The only way you're going to stop it is like having a Rwanda scheme. But we don't need Rwanda. What we need to do, Channel, Navy, Beach, Army, or rip up the ECHR, and you can stick that up your jacksie to the rest of Europe. We're no longer in the EU. Put them in army camps, in tents, no squeezy soap, and then say you can stay or you can go back. And when you put them in those camps, don't let them come out walking around towns and villages. You know, at the moment, even though they're thinking about putting them in camps, they're going to let them come out. It's just nonsense. It's complete and utter. Right, where are we next? Denise Deacon. I love your avatar, Deacon. Denise, sorry. They are scared that the people have woken up and are rising up. We're onto them. And calling us far right is all they have. It doesn't wash anymore, Starmer and Khan. I think you're saying a lot there, Denise. I think that's a very good point. They're obviously worried. That rally, that amount of people on top of the migrant hotel protests. And let's face it, they used our money to defeat it, and they used the ECHR. That was one of the first traitorous acts of Yvette Cooper, who since then got moved, and Keir Starmer. That was treachery. That was against the British people. They used your money to convince some stupid old judge that the immigrants' rights, the illegal immigrants' rights, come over yours. They come first. You couldn't make it up. And I think you're right. So they saw the migrant hotel protests. They seen what Tommy and his mob or team sorted out on Saturday, and they are scared. And they've seen the flag movement, and they can't directly come out and say, we don't like the flags. So they're letting the councils take a bit of the flak for that. But those Brummie lads, and now lads all over the country, they're not going to be stopped. So Starmer can't really attack that way. So the new attack is that the demonstration was fascist and racist. I notice he hasn't really said anything about the Antifa, the left-wing mob, who were involved in the violence as well. And some people are saying, well, they started it. See, his equality, like lots of lefty twats, starts and ends with anyone with the same opinion as him. There you go, they've got equality. But anyone who dares to go against that, then they're a racist or a fascist. And then, of course, they support people from countries whose cultural identity is completely different to ours. And just one subject, women. You know, the way some of these places treat their women folk. Starmer doesn't see it. Starmer doesn't see that. But if that bloke off Strictly Come Dancing, Thomas, whatever his name, Bosch, him, I'm not defending him, or Greg Wallace, or somebody makes an off-colour joke about a woman, they're almost up on a charge. But nothing said about the women who look like Daleks. Nothing at all. It's weird, isn't it? Evening, John. Starmer is a joke. He had his time in charge and he fluffed the whole country up. And Khan is on borrowed time. Well, I don't know. He's had 3 goes at being the mayor. And Mandelson will be the mayor of London in 2028. Well, I'm not so sure about that because he was going to be Reform's candidate. Has he now got into bed with Ben Habib? I don't know. I don't think. I'm not sure Ant Middleton would get that job. Oh, I think he'd make a good job of it. They're all cowards. I saw Rupert Lowe saying he'd asked the MPs to sign the petition. And at that time, 25 out of a couple of hundred MPs had the nuts to sign it. Maybe more than a couple of hundred. I don't understand your last line, but I'm sure you do. Hi, John. I know Starmer's deal with we've read that out. You don't need to send it more than once. Jane Irwin says, well said, John. Thank you very much indeed. What about Lammy? He wants to give 100 billion remuneration. That's not the correct term. The term is reparations to Africa for slavery. If he does that, we'll be bankrupt, as all the old colonial countries will have to do the same. Thank you for your comments. I'll tell you what we do need. We need a conversation about that, a proper, informed, grown-up conversation where people don't start shouting, wait it. Do you agree with me? Listen, if any of this is winding you up or any of this you're agreeing with, please feel free to write a comment at the bottom. If you're listening later on a podcast, you can always send me an email or you can still contact me through YouTube. And don't forget, the best way to keep in touch with what I'm doing and the best support is to subscribe to John Gaunt TV on YouTube. It's free. It says subscribe, but there's no fee, right? Then you'll always know when I'm doing a new one. If you'd like to become a member of my YouTube channel, I think it's 99p a month or something, or $1.99, something like that, and $2.99 if you want to be a super fan. Or you could just donate a few quid tonight. Just click on www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. And why I keep going on about it at the moment is that tomorrow, or tonight, actually, midnight, is the cut-off point. So anything you donate after that, I won't get this week. I'll get it the following week. And we're a bit short this week, to be honest. It's not been that good on that. It's been good on the YouTube donations. If you want to donate via YouTube, you just click down here on that little dollar sign. Thank you. Hi, John. Hi, John. The one in, one out I'm seeing is one Reform UK MP in, taking one Labour MP out. That is a brilliant comment. Thank you very much, Johnny Roberts on YouTube. Faith Bowman, they are a bunch of sliming, lying bastards. I can't disagree with that. Horrible man Starmer is, and so's Khan, says John Bradley. Yeah, what about Khan? He's just jumped in there, isn't he? Because you know what Khan's got? Khan's got this ambition to be Prime Minister. God help us. He's completely up London. Now he wants to do the rest of the country. How do these people get in power? Frank Green, wanting our country should be for us. Thank you, my friend. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Jane Irwin's put a thumb up. Thank you, Jane. Ronnie Hurst, Starmer's toast. Khan has neglected London totally. I dread to think what this country is going to be like in 4 years. Well, that's why we can't have Starmer in power for that long. And I really don't like this, Memphis 90. He's playing along with the Jewish agenda. What are you on about? What are you on about? You anti-Semite scum. You twist something so it's against Jews. Get out. Don't bother coming back. Where are we going next? Andy Simpson or Ronnie, we'll take it back by then. Trust me. He's saying that he thinks stents will reassert itself before then. Well, Starmer's toast. Starmer's going. I mean, I just think he's played a clever game. He's a typical lawyer. So today he got forced to answer questions in the Commons. He just didn't go. He just didn't go. And he said, oh, I'm getting ready for seeing Donald Trump. It's bullshit. But then he knew, and I must admit, I hadn't thought this through, that it's recess because they're all off to the holiday to their party conferences. So they can all shag each other, stupid and senseless. And we'll pay for that as well. Neil Pye, while Labour MPs and certain judges are part of the Fabian Society, there'll be no change. Thank you. Hi, John. As I understand it, 26 people were arrested at the weekend. 9 from Unite the Kingdom, that's correct, and 17 from Stand Up for... I like that. Stand up for rapism. It's stand up for racism. I know what you mean, Niven. I like it. Saki. Far right is a fictitious go-to for people with no argument. Niven, you're right. I can't argue with you on that. It's a disgrace. Andy Simpson, we are the sovereign. You are sovereign. Us, they work for us, not themselves or a big corporation. John, Niven, you've sent that twice and I've already read it out once. This person here. Remember when coffee was 60p and tea was 50p? Memphis, look what I'm going to do to you now. Just watch this. Just watch this. Because you really need to see this. I've just blocked you because you're a filthy racist, a genuine racist. I can't bear listening to your horrid anti-Jewish nonsense. I was there, mate. It was a great day. Thank you. Andy, you've said a lot now. That's enough. Let other people have a go. Paul Haynes, am I missing something? Mandelson has gone, and rightly so. But now we're rolling out the red carpet for a bigger friend of Epstein's. What's the difference? Well, Paul, I hope you've got the money to take on one of the richest guys in America. Nothing has been proven in a court of law about Trump's alleged relationship with Epstein. Whereas in Mandelson's case, it has, right? So you should be very, very careful what you're saying. It's all right to get carried away and be the big I am with my opinion, or I hate Trump. And you can not like Trump, that's fine. But you've got to be careful what you say. My comment was a reference to the Bell Hotel, says Neil Pye. I can't remember what your comment was. Sorry, we're a bit busy tonight. They casually think international legal requirements are more important than the needs and desires of the British people. They're very foolish. That's absolutely true, Lord Carbarkin, on YouTube. Enjoying the show? I hope so. I've got to stop soon. So if you want to press the like button, I've got 17. That'll be good. And if you'd like to make a donation, that would be great. Press the little dollar sign. Let's see if we can get a few quid in the coffers. She's out working tonight, but when she gets back, she'll be trying to fill out that audit sheet. And if you want to go via Buy Me a Coffee, do that as well, please. www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. Pam Millett, I totally agree with everything that you're saying, John. Thank you, Pam. I shall try and upset you tomorrow by saying something different if you want. I hear the mayor gets more money than the Prime Minister. Oh, that's an interesting point. Yeah, that was revealed today that Sadiq Khan gets paid more than the Prime Minister. You couldn't make this up. There's council chiefs who get paid more than the Prime Minister. They're all on the choo-choo, the gravy train, aren't they? Where are we next? Lee Goatee, sorry. If Khan becomes PM, I'm off. And that's another trucker lost. Well, I think he'd be in the running. I think, obviously, he's got to become an MP, just like Andy Burnham, if it's going to be him. But don't worry too much about who takes over, because I've ordered the lettuce. I've ordered the lettuce to come in for once they get rid of Starmer. But you know, can you believe? Let's have some comments about that. Trump's coming tonight. What would you like Trump to say or do, keep it clean, with Starmer? If he gives them an easy ride, careful, I'm just going to be so annoyed. I'm going to be so annoyed. Have a look at Sadiq Khan's air miles. He apparently could go to the moon and back. And I wish he would just go and not come back. Yeah, good point. I tell you, his air miles, they're nearly as bad as Starmer's, aren't they? Or indeed Judith Chalmers. They're living high on the hog. They're living high on the hog. Gregory Galvin, evening, John. Thank you. Evening to you. And then he says, sadly, London will always be red. It's one of the reasons I moved away. Thank you for your comments. It's not just red now. London is increasingly, people are voting on sectarian lines. And I don't like that at all. I don't like it at all. John, we all know with the mainstream media, they just put out a load of bollocks. A racist is someone who wins an argument with a Labour supporter, says Denise Deacon. Yeah, well, I think that's how they see it. If you dare to take them on and beat them, they then shout out, wait this, or set this. I'm off to Stansted at 20:30 with my St. George's Cross flag and Charlie Kirk T-shirt to welcome Trump. Thank you, Gregory. Up to you. And then this says, always makes me laugh how the likes of Starmer and Sad IQ warn about how we should fight the far right, and yet a far left be kind monster murdered Charlie Kirk last week. Violence is in the far left DNA. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's also interesting, isn't it? Remember when Starmer, when he first got into power, he took the knee, didn't he, along with Angela Rayner? And ever since then, he's been taking the P. But that's true, isn't it? He took the knee for George Floyd. And then we had that spectacle of all those footballers doing it as well. The world's mad. These people are all virtue signalling tosspots. And you'd think somebody who got to the top wouldn't be that stupid or thick. But Sadiq can't. Oh, yeah, he is. He is. Where are we going next? John, on Saturday at the rally, Anne Middleton said he was standing for mayor of London in 3 years. Yeah, but who for? That's the point I was making, Steve. He was going to be Nigel's candidate, but I think Nigel's now gone with that woman instead. The Muslim lady, who's very good on the telly. I can't remember her name at the moment. I want Trump to really embarrass the government, tell them how useless or bad they are. Yeah, but I've got a feeling, well, I'm hoping Trump's going to play him. He's going to get him into a false sense of comfort, like he did in Scotland, his golf club, and then hammer him. Because I'm sure Trump won't hold back about freedom of speech, about Lucy Connolly, especially in the light of the tragic murder of last week. I'm sure he won't hold back. And then, of course, there's the attack on free speech in terms of how Trump sees it, in terms of the big American tech firms and this row that's going on with Elon Musk. And then there's that other idiot, at least he's not going to meet him now, the leader of the Lib Dems, Ed Davey, who's not going, oh, no, I'm doing a protest. I'm not going to the King's banquet. I'm not doing it. I prayed and I realised that me and my God, we couldn't do it. Shut up, you twat. Yeah? Anyway, just a thought. Right, I've going to stop there. I hope you enjoyed it. You got yourself 43 minutes there. We had no donations. Thanks. Nobody's bothered pressing the little dollar sign, but I'll be selling the big issue next week and not doing podcasting. Alternatively, you can, of course, maybe that's what you've done. You've all gone to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. Don't forget, the best way you can support me is by subscribing. It's free to John Gaunt TV. You'll then know every time I'm going to do a broadcast. You can also look at their archive, which, let me tell you, is pretty big at the moment. Pam Millett says, I'd like Trump to say he's taking over the country, and especially to sort out our illegal migrant problem. So would I. I said ages ago, let's become the 51st state. At the banquet, Starmer will be waiting on Trump. That's how close he's going to get to him. Thank you, Niven. Jackie Ward's given me 3 love hearts. And John, I'm waiting to see how many idiots come out protesting about Trump being here. Oh, they're already there. Evidently at Windsor, it's mobbed with the great unwashed, the feral, the feckless, the freeloaders, the foreigners, and the students. Jump out. But they've all got lovely signs made for them by the Socialist Worker Party. That's spontaneous protest, isn't it? Just like we saw at the migrant hotels as well. Just heard the next one in, one out got stopped on appeal. Jesus, laugh out loud. Yeah, that's right, Craig. That's what I'm talking about. There's been 2, one yesterday and one today. Might have been 3. I don't know. I've been busy doing this. Got a view on it? Let's hear it. But I'm going now anyway. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Please keep spreading the word. Send this link to other people. Come back if you've been listening on a podcast and watch the TV version. Same words, just different pictures. Well, just pictures. And I'll speak to you again tomorrow. I'm going to be doing one at 6:30 tomorrow. Hell of a lot to talk about after tomorrow, because tomorrow, obviously, Trump will be in full flow. But you've got this. The thing I really want you to go away with thinking about tonight is the way Starmer's conned you again. He's completely conned you. He's not open to scrutiny. But he can't carry on doing this for 4 years. He can't hide under a rock for 4 years, can he? Anyway, nice talking to you. Back tomorrow at 6:30. Until then, if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Hey, hey, hey. Don't forget to tell them you love them. See ya.